Welcome back to Truth Talks, where we dive into real conversations that bring life, healing, and hope through God's truth. If you've ever wondered whether a broken marriage can be restored, if you're fighting for connection in a difficult season, or if you're preparing for a godly marriage someday, this conversation is for you. Today's guest has walked through real life marriage, real life pain, and real life redemption. He's living proof that God still heals marriages, restores hearts, and turns pain into purpose. Let me introduce you to Matthew, also known as the Ambassador of Hope. I recently spoke at an event in Chicago, and Matthew was also one of the speakers. He told me a bit about his work, and I thought the audience for Life Coach for Ladies might be interested. He knows firsthand that even the deepest challenges can become a setup for your greatest victory. Married to his high school sweetheart, Brenda, for over 33 years, Matthew has walked through real highs and lows of marriage and come out stronger through it all. In 1997, he built a successful company from the ground up. But in 2019, he followed the Lord's leading to step fully into his calling, helping couples restore and revive their marriage. His message took on new depth in 2022 after surviving a head on collision with a drunk driver who was going over 100 miles per hour. And that near death experience didn't just shake him, it sharpened him. And today his message is clear. He helps couples move from crisis to connection. He's the founder of Phenomenal Marriage and Marriage Peace University, where he equips couples with biblical tools and real life strategies to rebuild trust, intimacy, and peace in their relationship. Please welcome Matthew, Ambassador of Hope. Hi, thank you for being
Woo!
here.
Thank you
So,
so much for having me, Sandra. It's a pleasure and an honor.
yeah, I'm so excited that we get a chance to just talk to you and hear about what's going on in your life and your coaching. Let's start with your story. Take us back. How did your own marriage, the journey, and the accident in 2022 lead you to become the ambassador of hope?
So I've have the incredible privilege of being married to my high school sweetheart. We started going out when we were 15. We dated for 4 years, 1 month, and 12 days, and we've been married for 33 years. And we've been through a lot. Like life, people have this idea that, marriage is going to be, and a great marriage is two people who turn towards each other and continually choose each other over and over. And we really struggled. We were on the crazy cycle for years, and it was really the thing that just really got me to where I was like, I need to fix this for myself. And learning these tools and learning the mindsets and learning the truth of God and being set free by it, I realized, you know what? All these people around me are struggling just as bad or worse than we are, and they need help. They need hope. And so, like you said, I started Phenomenal Marriage in 2019. We had our first marriage conference, and it was just so amazing to have the couples that came there um, transform their marriages. Two of the couples that were there, one the day of and when in the weeks and months that followed. And it was just like God was just telling me, this stuff really works. This is like fire. And in 2022, I got hit by a drunk driver, and I was running a cleaning business. I ran clean and dry for 25 years, and I just felt like it's time to go do something else, but it's not quite time. So I was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then I got hit by a drunk driver, and I was like, okay, it's time to go do something else. And I like physically, I can't do the cleaning anymore. I was able to rebuild the business. I just about had a nervous breakdown in the process
Mm.
because it was so difficult. I was so hurt, so beat up, so damaged. But the Lord has grace every day. And I just want everybody to know my story is just my story, but God's there for everybody. Everybody has a story that the Lord can redeem and repurpose. And
Amen.
so after the accident, I was like, well, I can't clean anymore. It's time to go into full-time ministry. And so working on marriages, and that's where we are, and it's really exciting.
Mhm. And so the turning point when you realized that God was calling you to marriage ministry specifically was when you just couldn't do the other job anymore, even though he had kind of already told you that you should be moving on. Sometimes we
Yeah.
have to get hit over the head before we listen, right?
Yes.
So, how has surviving that head on collision reshaped your purpose and the way that you coach couples?
Well, it's totally like I knew three things before the accident. And if you could ever be prepared for something like that, which I don't know that you ever could be, but going through the trials that I went through, I knew three things. And here they are for our listeners. Number one, I knew that God was for me. And that is, it tells us in Hebrews 11:6, he that cometh to God must believe that he is, that he exists, and that he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. When I got run over, I knew God loved me. There was no, I never asked why. I never said,
Mhm.
oh Lord, why would you let this happen to me? Nope. I knew, hey, he loves me. I don't understand. I understand 0%, but I trust him 100%.
Mhm.
And so knowing that the God is for me, I knew that he's with me. Like it's not some, a lot of people experience the Lord like some far off, he's out there somewhere looking down on me. Like I'm laying there in the hospital bed and I can feel him in my
Mhm.
room, in me. It was so precious. And number three, I knew that I will win if I don't quit. And you, my dear beloved brothers and sisters, you will win if you don't quit. And it's not about the results. So often we're focused on, well, if I do this and I'll get that. Like, forget all the results. Just do the right thing. Do what God has called you to do. Be the husband he's called you to be the wife he's called you to be the parent he's called you to be, and let go of the results. Because that's, we get all goofed up. We trip up all over ourselves trying to hold on to the results and just do the right thing. It says the kingdom of God is as a man scatter a seed. So do the right thing, do all those right things and let the Lord bring the results. So for me, going through that experience, it was like it galvanized me, it
Mhm.
empowered me, it emboldened me, it strengthened me in the inner man, just like, and I try to keep it under wraps. So I'm not too overwhelming because I have so much energy. People are like, Matt, tone it down. But it's the life. It's just so much life that the Lord, so much love He's given me for other people. And just, I'm more present, I'm more authentic, I'm definitely more powerful, and it's his love, like
Mhm.
honestly. And whatever anybody's been through, I just want them to hear this. No matter what your story's been, that's not the final chapter. No matter where you've been, yesterday really did end last night. Today's a brand new day, and it's yours. You can change totally, completely your life by changing what you think about, changing your mindset, and working with a coach, just like Sandra, just like me.
Mhm. Yeah. And that really goes to that your message is not just about staying married, it's about building a phenomenal marriage. What does
Yeah.
that look like practically and biblically?
So biblically, the blueprint is Christ and the church. And if you read like in Ephesians, I think is the longest breakout, it talks about them working together, nourishing and cherishing and submission and respect. And what that does, it doesn't just give you a partnership that works, like, yeah, we're married, but you know, sometimes I think about killing him or, whatever. It's no, it's your friends, partners, and lovers. And that's it, it takes vulnerability, it takes authenticity, and it takes a totally different worldview. And here's the honest to goodness truth, Sandra. Most people are running their relationship backwards, like literally backwards. They wake up for their spouse to serve them.
Mm,
Like if
mm.
you went and you took from the bank and you said, well, I'll make a deposit later, what would your bank account look like? It wouldn't exist. They would give you overdrafts. Well, a lot of people's marriages are running on overdrafts. We take and we take and we take and we take until we get full enough that we feel like, well, I'm full enough now I can give back. But you're running your spouse dry. What we need to do is wake up and realize who we are and realize whose we are. And then we show up to love and serve. And a lot of people are scared to do that. They're like, well, if I don't take from my spouse, I'll be empty. You're going to have so much more to give. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
be free to serve your spouse. It changes like this right here just changed my whole entire world, changed my whole entire life to understand who I am, and whose I am. And I'm here to freely serve my wife. And I make requests. Like I'll say, hey, babe, could you do this for me? Hey, whatever. But I'm not dependent on her. I don't need her to be a certain way for me to be okay. And that when people come to that place, they're completely set free to love and serve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is like one simple but powerful mindset shift that couples can make today to start rebuilding that, connection that you're talking about?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is waking up to serve your spouse. If you're laying in bed and you wake up, are you thinking about, well, is he going to be nice to me today? Well, is she going to, make love to me later? Like, whatever. But you're thinking about them. You put your spouse at the center of the world instead of putting the Lord there. You put the Lord at the center of the world. Like, you wake up, I wake up to be the best person, the best man that I could be. Because that's what God's called each one of us to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do, do it with your might. You're not your own, you're bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God with your body. So when I understand that I'm here for Him, I'm here for His kingdom, I'm here for His glory, for His honor. And this beautiful, wonderful, amazing woman is my mission field. It's my job. It's my privilege. It's my pleasure to work for her. And that when you see that and you take your spouse off the throne, if I could use that phrase, and you put the Lord there, it changes everything. And people that I talk to all the time, they say, "Oh, my spouse does this to me," or "My spouse doesn't do that for me." It's like, wait a minute, hold on just a second. Let's focus on what you're called to do. And when you
Mm-hmm.
do that, it changes your whole perspective. It changes how you see your spouse. It changes what you're looking for. It's so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
these things are so small. Like it's not like you have to go on 100 date nights. Like you wake up differently. And I use the word picture of a radio station. So if you have a radio, I don't know, I'm sure people still have radios. I'm kind of old school, but you turn the dial and it goes to different music. So when the first talk I had after my accident, I had a radio and I tuned in the different dials. I tuned in the different stations. So one of them is Mexican music. Oh, Chico Jose Gonzalez Enrique. Yeah, fiesta. And you turn the radio and it's and then the next one is like, oh, say. And I asked the kids because it was young people. I said, "What's the difference? Why is the radio playing different sounds?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" Well, because how did all those different sounds get in this box? All those
Mm-hmm.
sounds are all around us. It's just what you tune into. And I think
Mm-hmm.
everybody's light bulbs went off and went like, oh, so you can live your life like that. No matter what the circumstances are around you, you can tune in to the Lord's love because He loves you. He gave His
Mm-hmm.
life for you. You tune
Yeah.
that in, and then you're not so focused on what your spouse is doing to you or not doing for you. And you're like, hey, what should I be doing?
Yeah. What does Marriage Peace University offer that's different from any traditional marriage coaching or counseling that someone might have seen before?
Thank you so much for that question, Sandra. Marriage Peace University is the outline, it's the blueprint of what God is trying to do with us in our lives in marriage. So marriage is supposed to be fun. It is. It's supposed to be passionate. It is. But it's also it's not just that. It's helping us bloom and grow into the people that God's called us to be, that together as a team, we would take on the kingdom of darkness in the kingdom of light as friends, partners, and lovers. And instead of just being, and like, honestly, like everybody's human, everybody's going to have days ups and downs and everything like that. This isn't like ridiculously goofy or anything. It's understanding like this is what God designed marriage to be, and this is how to get there. You were talking earlier about, mindsets. It
Hmm.
says that my people in Hosea 4:6 are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And I know so many people whose marriage is a total train wreck because they're using the wrong blueprint. They're literally doing their relationship backwards. And you
Hmm.
just flip the blueprint over, you start, it's like on your car. If you're going the wrong direction and you enter, oh no, we're not going to hate and frustration and bitterness. We're going to love, joy, and peace. Like you turn around, you're going a different direction.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So, could you share or give a sneak peek of like a practical tool or a biblical truth, something that is on your blueprint that couples could apply right now to strengthen their marriage?
Yes. Can I share something? I don't know if, like,
Sure,
share my screen.
sure.
Can I do that?
Hmm.
Okay. Let me take a deep breath here and figure out. Hold on one second. I'm going to go find it and then,
Okay.
um,
So, do you have prayer strategies or conflict tools or communication principles or what kind
I
of things are in
all
there? All
yeah,
of that.
all of that stuff. All of that stuff. So let me just share. Let me go. Hold on one second. I'm gonna put this I'm gonna put this right here. Why will it not let me move that? Okay, I'm going to go share my screen.
Okay. It's coming up. There it is. I see
Okay, can you
it.
see that? So
Yes.
this is actually the roadmap that's in Marriage Peace University, and Phenomenal Marriage actually runs. It's not meant to be confusing. Phenomenal Marriage actually runs on Marriage Peace University. So all the coaching, all the materials is in Marriage Peace University, and these are the 8 things that God is trying to work. This is our blueprint. These are our pillars. Number one right here is responsibility. Change starts when and where you accept responsibility for your life. And it's understanding, hey, I have a role to play. Every single couple. Now, Sandra, I don't know if this is true for you, but every single couple that I've worked with, the people have blamed, like without exception.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
used to. I mean, it's like human nature. Look at Adam and Eve. The woman you gave me did it.
Right, right,
I came by
exactly.
it honestly. I got it from Adam. So that's really where all this starts. Because if you're waiting on something out there, you're waiting on your spouse, you're waiting on something to be different. Nope, you can start changing today. And I said this all day long when I was really struggling. My life, my feelings, my results are my responsibility. Day after day after day after day. Because I had just gotten to where everything else was my sweet wife's fault.
Yeah,
And just owning that, like, bro, you're part of this. You're here too. The next one is goodwill. Is it okay if I just go through these pretty quick?
sure.
Okay. The next one's goodwill, and that's actually accepting your spouse. And so many people, and this is especially true of wives, men have things that are especially true of them, women have things that are especially true of them, especially true of wives. Women struggle to accept their husband because he's not quite what they want him to be. They get married and then, he doesn't change far enough fast enough and it's like, well, I guess this is what I got. Well, if you accept him, if like this is my husband, it changes everything. Like except like goodwill is wanting the best for the other person and understanding how they're wired. So there's in our program it talks about the disc model of human behavior. It talks about attachment styles because honestly, all of us have been traumatized, usually as a child and sometimes later in life. And to understand, hey, when my wife goes distant, when my husband goes distant, they're not trying to be a jerk. That's how they've learned how to cope with the emotional pain that they're in. So then
Right.
you're like, hey, it seems like you're struggling with this. Do you want to share about it? And it like opens up the understanding. That's just huge. The next one is positive energy, and it's breathing life into your relationship because you accept them and you make a request. Most people run their relationship under demands. They say, do this for me or I'm going to punish you. And most people say, punish you? Denying physical intimacy, not being physically present, not being emotionally present, those are punishments. It hurts a relationship. So you just say, "Hey, this I would really appreciate this. Could you do this for me?" And that gives them the opportunity to respond. And without free will, there is no love. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
exist. And people ask, "Well, why is there evil in the world?" Because God gave the opportunity to not do good or there wouldn't be any good. If we were all robots, imagine if you had a program that said, "Good morning, I love you." Like it wouldn't mean anything because there's nothing there. They don't have the opportunity to choose you. They don't have the opportunity to not choose you, so it doesn't mean anything. So that positive energy, making requests. The next one is heartfelt understanding. And most people don't understand how to communicate effectively. People just blurt out, blah, you hurt me. And it just, you don't get anywhere. You don't solve anything, and all you do is hurt people. And one thing I'll share that's just been a huge, huge help for my wife and I is we don't have any talks after 8 o'clock at night, period. When we were
Wow.
younger, people said, don't ever go to bed mad. Just forget that. Once you're tired, you're not going to resolve anything. Just let it
Mm-hmm.
go. Go to sleep on it, talk about it tomorrow. If it's something that's really important, whatever, you can work on it. But like big hairy issues, just wait till tomorrow. And my wife is so cute and sweet. She's like, honey, I'll try and bring something up. And she looks at her watch and she's like, honey, sorry, it's after 8 o'clock. And she's playful with it. She's not resisting me. And it's all about learning how to connect and communicate your heart without pushing on your spouse. The next one's polarity, and that's the play of masculine and feminine energy. And that's really under attack in our world right now. The world and the broken old earthly wisdom system is saying men and women are exactly equal, and they're not. I shouldn't say equal, they're exactly the same because men and women are equal in God's sight as far as value.
Mm-hmm.
But our roles are totally different. And if you're trying to run the thing sideways, it's not going to work. It just doesn't work. You can't put the pickup bed in the where the driver's seat is, and it's not going to work. Where's your steering wheel? Where's your brakes? Like it just doesn't work. And just helping people understand, hey, this is my role, this is my spouse's role. Marriage is a dance. And when you learn how to dance with your spouse, it makes it fun. Not only work, but fun. The next one's trust. Relationships are built on trust. And that's a whole thing. And then our secret fuels. Most people don't understand what they're trying to get in relationships, men and women. This isn't a specific side of the equation. A man's deepest abiding emotional need is respect, and second is physical affection. If a guy has respect, his wife likes him, and she's open to meet his physical affection needs, he's happy. A woman, her deepest abiding emotional need is to be loved and cherished. The
Mm-hmm.
second one is security. Now, women are a little bit more complex. Like, honestly, I'm not picking on anybody. Women are a little bit more complex. And that isn't always like if she has this, she's happy because there's so many other things going on. But that's the framework, the groundwork to work on and to help her and to lead her in love. And the thing is, when you get those needs met, it just makes it amazing. You asked earlier about, what does it take to have a phenomenal marriage? That's what it takes. When your needs are met, your deepest abiding emotional needs are met at a high level, you're content. You're like it's super cool. And life, like I said, is life is full of life, but we can really enjoy it. And the last one is oneness, and it's becoming one flesh. There's a lot of people, especially in this world today, we live in a broken system. We live with broken wisdom, and the wisdom of this world says you got to be independent. You got to be, I'm the man, I'm the woman. You can't tell me what to do. And what you have is you have two separate individuals. And a marriage is not two bicycles. It's a tandem bicycle. It's not two
Hmm.
unicycles, it's a tandem bicycle. And it's a privilege and a pleasure and an honor to get to do life together as friends, partners, and lovers. One spirit, one flesh, spirit, soul, and body. And that's when people get a hold of that, it's just awesome.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I appreciate you being so open with it and just for being here and sharing so powerfully. Before we close, what final encouragement would you give to couples watching who want to believe for something better, but maybe are even afraid to hope again?
Yeah. You know what? With God, all things are possible. That, you know, Matt, no matter where you've been, no matter what's happened, no matter, like, even couples that have been through adultery, like, there's a reason the adultery happened. There's something missing in your relationship. And there are times when the relationship is better than it ever was. It sounds totally backwards, but there is something missing. And I'm not justifying adultery. It's always wrong 100% of the time. The reason people commit adultery is because they're looking for something outside their relationship they don't have inside. And so when you figure out, hey, there's something missing and you solve that need, bam, it just, so no matter where you've been, no matter what you've been through, there is tremendous hope because God is good and his principles always work and you can trust him. You can build an amazing, phenomenal marriage. Period. End of statement. Like,
Okay. All right. Thank you again. And friends that are watching, whether you're in a storm right now or maybe you're just standing on the edge of the breakthrough, I want you to know this: God can restore what feels impossible. You were created not to live in tension and silence, but to live in peace and oneness and purpose. And there's hope, healing, and help is available to you. Please be sure to like and subscribe and share this video with someone who needs it. And until next time, keep walking in truth. And remember, strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in the time to come. Thank you.